What's up, guys? Coach John Wojo here with JW Fitness answering another question for you. For someone new to weights using only dumbbells and a bench at home, would you recommend lighter weight with more reps or more weight with less reps? My goal is to build muscle and will be adding additional weights when I'm at the point of needing them. I'm currently doing mainly cardio and diet to get my gut under control. Okay. So to address the last part of that, I'm currently doing mainly cardio and diet to get my gut under control, and that is excellent. Diet is the driver of your fat loss, make no mistake about it. And he was very clear on his goals. He wants to build muscle. And for what we know so far to date, and from what I understand that we know as a fitness community to date, is that the volume of work you do over a given period of time is the greatest driver of hypertrophy or muscle gain. And you want to do a volume of work that is optimal for you. High enough that it creates a tremendous stimulus for hypertrophy, but reasonable enough that you could definitely recover from it and continue to make progress week after week, month after month. Then having said that, we also know that multiple sets per workout for a muscle group, sets that are taken close to failure, let's say within 3 repetitions shy of failure, on the low side. Anything lower might still be a stimulus, but not nearly as great as something that's taken to within 3, 2, 1, or actual failure. So you want to be within that range, something within 3 repetitions shy of failure, including all the way up to failure, which is not necessary to do for progress, and certainly not something that you want to do on every set of every exercise, every workout, every week, because it's just going to create a whole ton of unnecessary fatigue, and you will end up requiring additional rest days or unplanned deload week because you're just going to accumulate too much fatigue. So not to get lost in the weeds here, but that is something you might want to wave into your program. And just real quick, it's like something that I've been doing recently that I'm enjoying is I do a three weeks up, 1 week down type of mesocycle where the first week I take my exercises generally to within 3 repetitions shy of failure. Second week is generally within 1 or 2 reps shy of failure. And then the third week, I don't take every single set to failure, but I generally take very close, if not to like just before failure. It's my hardest, heaviest week. And then the fourth week is a deload week. It's a planned reduction in training intensity and volume. And then I make sure I completely recover from all that work that I've done the previous 3 weeks. And then come the start of the next mesocycle, I'm just a little bit stronger, a little bit bigger than I was before, and I'm ready to go again. That's how I've been doing it. So point being that you want to take your sets to the cusp of failure, let's call it, and you want to be handling a load that will allow you to reach that point. And studies have backed this up, anywhere between, let's say, 5 repetitions all the way up to 30 repetitions. It's not that anything less than 5 repetitions will absolutely not work. It just seems to be less of a stimulus than keeping it north of 5 repetitions. And it's not to say that anything beyond 30 repetitions absolutely will not work. It just seems that anything well beyond 30 repetitions just seems it's an excessive number of repetitions. The weight in a very real sense is just not, the mass is just not great enough to have any significant to create any significant mechanical tension on the muscle. It's just so light at that point that, you know, just taking a little breather at the bottom of the movement, let's say you're doing barbell curls, just taking a little breather is probably going to enable you to just continue cranking out reps just because the weight is just so light at that point. So, you know, generally speaking, for hypertrophy, yeah, you probably want to keep it between 5 and 15 is probably a good spot to be. Certainly you could go more repetitions on certain exercises, more like isolative exercises, heavier exercises or exercises that lend themselves to using more weight. You probably want to keep it between 5 and 10. And that's just probably a good rule of thumb for those movements. And whether you can actually train that way at home with what you have is going to be determined by what you have at your disposal at home. So in order to keep within those parameters, you may have to go out and buy more weight, right? You don't want to be doing 50 repetitions for a certain exercise. You may have to go out and buy heavier dumbbells or heavier weights to add to your barbell set to make sure that, you know, you have everything that you need lifting at home. Guys, if you appreciate the content, like and subscribe, send me your questions, and I'll talk to you soon.